Trudeau and Mulcair standing up for workers or union bosses. I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.media. Well, he's done it again. About a week after Justin Trudeau went before the U.S.-based International Association of Firefighters and promised to do away with a union disclosure bill here in Canada, similar to what they already have to live with in the United States. He's done it again. This time he went before the American-based Building Trades Council. Now, this is a construction union that represents workers in Canada and the United States, except their head office is required to fill out what's called an LM2. This is part of the disclosure that was brought in the 1959 Labor Relations Management Act. This bill that was supported by the likes of John F. Kennedy when he was still a senator require unions to report how much they spend on certain types of contracts. There's a bill before Parliament here, it's in front of the Senate right now, called 377 that promises to do the same thing. But just like he said he would get rid of the secret ballot for union votes, Trudeau's also promising to do away with 377. And once again, he's telling this to a union that already lives with these disclosure rules. Why would Trudeau be against a union having to disclose to the Canadian government what it already discloses to the American government? Tom Mulcair is no better. He went to the United Food and Commercial Workers Conference in Chicago, and he promised to do away with 377 as well. Again, the United Food and Commercial Workers is a union that represents workers on both sides of the border, but because it's headquartered in the United States, they have to follow these disclosure rules. They're the type of disclosure rules that union organizers, including Ken Pereira, who was a star witness at the Charbonneau Commission, have called for when testifying about this bill.
I am a unionized worker. I am a union leader. I was the business manager of local 1981 millwrights of TFTQ Construction. I saw things that shook me. I thought I could change them from within, and I was wrong. Today they say I'm a whistleblower. I was a so-called star witness about union corruption at Quebec's Charbonneau Commission. I no longer work in my beloved home province of Quebec. I live there with my wife and our 2 kids, now young adults, but I have to work elsewhere. My life was threatened. No one should have to do what I did to ensure financial activities are lawful. I am a big union believer, but there are things in this country that must change. This necessary disclosure bill is a start.
You can add to that list people like Mark Roomy from Air Canada and others. You can point to the NHL Players Association, where some of their members have had to sue the union to get financial disclosure over how dues money is being spent. So a Canadian-based union, you are in the dark. But if you belong to an American-based union, well, then you can find out how they spend their money. It's how we know, for example, that the UFCW paid EGAL, a lobby group, $9,016. Oxfam Canada, they paid them $22,540 in a donation. They paid Canon Canada $49,768 for their photocopying. This didn't weaken the union at all. Then at the Building Trades Council, we know that they paid Air Canada $54,199, Bell $6,000, and Robert Blakey, their Canadian operative, $262,000. Same with the IAFF. We know what they're spending money on as well. But according to Trudeau and Mulcair, if you belong to a Canadian union rather than an American-based one, you shouldn't have the right to know how your dues money is spent. That's not standing up for working Canadians. That's standing up for the union bosses that want to hide how they're spending the money.